Hey everyone, it's John from the Afterthoughts crew. Just a quick announcement before we get into the thick of this bonus episode. As of 2025 and until further notice, we here at the Afterthoughts podcast will be adopting a more ad hoc posting cycle. We're not halting recordings or abandoning the cast. Episodes will still be posted, but with less frequency. If you look forward to our episodes being posted every week, this news is probably a bummer, but I'm hopeful this schedule change-up will serve to boost the quality of our discussions and permit more time to experiment with other forms of Afterthoughts content. As always, we're still open to movie recommendations and discussions on our Discord, so consider joining us if you haven't already and keep up to date with our ongoings there. For more info, you can check out theafterpod.transistor.fm. With that, I want to share a bonus recording of Dixon's most recent rant recap as our way of saying thanks for your continued support. All right, let's roll that clip.
We are the gold standard. They're back there in Hollywood making movies right now because of us. Because they believe in us and what we're doing. And they're looking at us and using us to make their movies. We are creating.
Oh God! Sorry. Wrong tape. Hold on. Let me see here. It's. Here it is. Okay. Yep. All right. Got it. And roll that tape.
Is it recording?
Yeah, I'm recording on this one. I don't care about that one. It's fine. I'm not going to have to mark this. Dixon's going to talk about Here, everybody.
By Robert Zemeckis, not by Boss DeVos.
Yeah, now you get to say movie. Here, not by Boss DeVos.
Here by Robert Zemeckis. It is a reuniting of Robert Zemeckis, Tom Hanks, and Robin Wright.
Were they ever apart?
Who knows? Yeah, if they ever left each other's sides. I think it's so sad that Robin Wright has been tied to these two motherfuckers so many times. It's like, oh my God. Like, why does she have to waste her? She's actually really talented. But Here by Robert Zemeckis is the camera is sitting in one single place for the entire movie until the last shot. And it's just in the corner of this living room, and it's just jumping around in time, mostly focusing on Paul Bettany and his wife. Paul Bettany is a World War II veteran who has gone deaf in his left ear from a shell that went off. And they move into this house somewhere in Pennsylvania, I believe Philadelphia, but it's not super clear. And then they have a child who turns out to be Tom Hanks, and Tom Hanks's family ends up living in that same house, and they're like all living together over this long period of years. And they randomly flash to other periods of time, like there's like the guy who invented the Lazy Boy lived there, and they have random scenes of the guy inventing the Lazy Boy.
Robert Zemeckis fucking Tom Hanks movie thing I've ever heard.
And like it's just like he and his wife like at various stages of inventing the Lazy Boy, and like it like pitching it to a company, and like them getting rich and like fucking on the Lazy Boy, and but like off camera obviously. Then there's a like in the early 1900s, there's a family that moves into the house that the home was built in 1900. There's a family who moves in like post World War I, where the dude is really into planes and he buys an airplane, and it's just him and his wife arguing about the airplane the entire time. And she's like, "You need to sell that death trap," and he's like, "Actually, flying is very safe. It's all about fuel management. Oh, and the weather. The weather is very important. Fuel management and the weather. Oh, and like he keeps like going off all these things, like, super safe." But like, and then he dies of the flu, and it's like,
damn it!
It's like they have an open casket funeral in the living room, and a guy's like, "I can't believe they're having an open casket funeral." The other guy's like, "Why do you say that?" He's like, "Well, there's usually not much left after a plane crash." Like, he didn't die of plane crash; he died of bird flu.
God damn it!
Or the Spanish flu, or whatever.
Died because a bird flew into his plane.
Yeah.
Crashed. Oh God!
And then, like, while they're moving out of the house after that guy died, there are girls skipping rope outside in their front yard, saying, "I had a bird named Enza." it flew in. It's something like influenza. Yeah, and they're doing a rhyming thing about
1,
that.
2, Freddy's coming for you.
Yeah, outside of this guy's house who just died from the flu.
Amazing. They did the ring around the rosy, huh? That's when they had the plague come to his house.
There are scenes from the primordial ooze of the dinosaur era.
Yes.
There's a volcano that goes off. There's an Ice Age sequence. An early America sequence where we have some, random token Native Americans running around shooting deer with bows and arrows.
The predator comes out.
Turns out the house is built on an ancient Indian burial ground.
Oh, shit.
And this is like a positive development in this story. And they find these cool artifacts buried in the backyard. Like, oh, isn't this cool? We found this old necklace buried here. I'm like,
no.
What the fuck is going on?
That's when the poltergeist. Okay.
I know.
This movie went so many ways wrong. It should have been all about the different movie genre tropes all in one family location.
Yep.
It would have been much better if they were like, we got to tear this house down. It's built on a Native American burial ground. They're like, no. And then it's just cursed and every other family has to deal with some shit. Tom Hanks haunts them.
Oh my God. There is a scene of literal slave labor as they are building a massive house across the street that is this huge colonial mansion that is inhabited by Benjamin Franklin's illegitimate son.
Oh my God.
And they have this whole weird thing about Benjamin Franklin's kid is a royalist and Franklin is a revolutionary and they hate each other and they can't talk politics and blah, blah, blah. I don't know why any of this is here or why any of this matters. Tom Hanks is an aspiring artist, but Paul Bettany, his father, is like, you idiot, you have to get a job where you wear a suit. And then he becomes an insurance salesman and hates his life and can never afford to move out of his parents' house. He gets Robin Wright pregnant when they're 18. And they have to live in the parents' house. And Robin Wright keeps telling him, I am going crazy. I need my own space. We need a new house. And Tom Hanks is like, what? No, we would have to, the taxes are just so high. All he does is complain about taxes. And it's just like Republican diatribe about how the working man can't get forward in this country because of the goddamn taxes.
And can't invent a goddamn lazy boy in peace.
Yeah. It's like, the mortgage rates are 9% and the taxes are, LBJ just hiked up the taxes again. We can't afford this. And she's like, I'm telling you that I'm going to lose my shit if we don't get out of here. It's a small 1,800 square foot house that we're living in with your parents and our kids. And just it's all this family squabbling and Tom Hanks is a fucking idiot and does not hear anything that Robin Wright has to say. And their marriage ends up dissolving and she ends up after their kid goes off to college, she moves out of the house and then it's just Tom Hanks and his dying father on the couch. It's so stupid and weird and it feels so there are emotional moments in the movie where I found myself getting caught up in it. I was like, wait, no, what am I doing? This is really stupid.
You're not going to trick me.
It's super manipulative where they're just showing you all of the most extreme moments in these families' lives as they live in this house and none of the good things that would have happened when they were there. Only the worst domestic arguments and the constant drinking of Paul Bettany and there's a dude, they have friends over. Oh my God, I lost my shit in this scene. Paul Bettany and his wife have friends over to the house and Paul Bettany is like, hey, anybody want some more bourbon? And the friend's wife is like, oh no, I can't. I'm getting pretty tired. I can't do another drink. And he's like, what about you, Ted? You're not gonna let this good bourbon go to waste, are you? And he's like, fuck it, why not? And he pours him a drink. He takes a sip. His wife is telling a joke. He starts to choke on the bourbon, stands up, takes one step, and falls face first and dies in the middle of the living room. What
Holy
the fuck
shit.
is this movie?
That's fucking wild.
It's just so many crazy things that
He choked on bourbon.
just absolutely insane.
Forgot he was allergic.
Yeah. I don't think you can die that way. But yeah, just... Oh my God, just such a stupid ass movie. And then they try to have a nice moment at the end where Robin Wright, after she moves out, has started to get dementia. And then there's a moment where they've sold the house and there's another family that lives there while they've been gone and COVID hits and their housekeeper dies of COVID because they can't have a real person die of COVID.
Yeah.
And then, but then that family is then selling the house and they're like, oh, the market's really good. You're probably getting an offer 20% over asking. And they're selling it during COVID. And then there's like Tom Hanks arranges with the realtor for him to come back to the house while it's being shown, and like just having like a private 30 minutes to bring Robin right back and be like, they're divorced, but like separated for decades at this point, but he brings her back into the house and he's like, do you remember this house? We used to live here. And she's like, who are you? And
I saw that in the trailer.
Yeah, it's so ridiculous. He's like, yeah, we used to live here. He's like, we were 18 and we fucked on the couch over there. And she's like, what? I don't know what you're talking about. And like, it's just like, and then she remembers like one random little moment of something their daughter did. And she's like, oh, I remember this place. I really like it here. And then the camera moves and it pulls does like a CGI zoom out of the house and shows you like the whole town. And then a little hummingbird like comes way too close to the camera, like a fake CGI hummingbird comes like right up to the camera.
22 stories of Springfield.
Yeah. And then the movie ends. Like, what the fuck? Like, it's just, first of all, she didn't like it there. Like, they made it very clear over the course of the movie that she hated her life there. And then she is like, you know what? Everything was good after. We did really have a wonderful life after all, didn't we? And then the movie's over. I'm like, oh my God, this was just so fucking stupid.
God damn it. Oh man, what a journey.
Yeah.
That movie sounds like it could have been made so many better ways. I mean, it's the schmaltzy ghost story.
Yes.
Right.
Just
Yeah.
so like, I immediately was like, oh man, if Oliver Stone had directed this movie, it would have been about all the times the CIA occupied that house. Fucking listening to FBI's there, fucking listening to Martin Luther King have an affair, do all this shit. Oh man, it could have been so many other great things, and it just wasn't. What a real bummer.
Oh man, and like Tom Hanks is as terrible as you would expect. He and Robin Wright enter the movie at age 18, and there is a lot of CGI de-aging going on. But because the camera is in the back of the room, it's like it's not as egregious as the Reagan shit, where Dennis Quaid's face is the whole camera, and you're like, oh my God, I can't look at that shit anymore.
Yeah.
So it's like less obvious, but it's just weird, like, having Tom Hanks play an 18-year-old and just doing his Tom Hanks thing. And I don't know. I feel like
can't DH his voice, so
right, exactly. I feel like there's this recent trend of like, oh yeah, we can just keep using these old ass actors because we have this de-aging technology now. And it's like, you make these movies that take place over a long period of time, and it's like before you would do it with a young actor and then put aging makeup on him and make him older. But I feel like that worked a lot better. And now it's like, oh, we can just extend these careers of these actors that have already done a lot of things. And it's like we're robbing young actors of the potential to play those roles.
Yep.
And it's just like, oh, we get to see Dennis Quaid play somebody in his 30s. Like, I don't want to do that.
I would have loved it if Dennis Quaid played the young Dutch, like child Dutch. That shit would have been funny.
Oh man, yeah, do it all the way.
That's where that movie could have been hilarious. You could easily, if Adam McKay had made a Reagan movie, he would have been talking like old Reagan for the entire film, and it would have been an adult the entire time. And there would have been a lot of like unhinged moments where everybody around him is making clear logical sense, and Reagan's like, nope, not doing that. Oh man. Yeah, it could have just been so much better.
Yeah.
But
and it's just like basically the whole movie was essentially just about these two families, like a father and son, who both like don't know how to talk to their wives because they're completely emotionally stunted and don't know how to have a real conversation. They're just concerned about stupid bullshit like taxes and like have horrible lives because of it. And I'm like, what the fuck was the point of all this? It's just like, and it's they try to make it this like emotional, uplifting family drama at the end. And I was like, no, you can't fucking shoehorn this in at the end of this movie. These people had horrible lives. They hated themselves. You can't just like say everything was cool now.
Shit, what was the other movie? Didn't we watch another movie this year where like at the end it acted as if you should have cared about its characters the entire time? It wasn't Soft and Quiet. Oh, fuck. There's something else. I know that we watched something where we all were like, it just was unearned. There was no way that we should have been in on this.
I mean, I feel like that happens fairly frequently, but I don't remember specifically.
It was like a stars aligned, and we all clicked to the same exact, like, no, not happening.
Was it Cashback?
No, I don't think it was Cashback. Maybe it was because they fall in love, and we're like, no, though, that's not how that works. It wasn't
I didn't realize that-
Primeval's either.
Here is, well, yeah, no, I don't think Primeval's even gave characters anything.
Didn't really care.
No.
Yeah.
I guess here is based on a graphic novel, which sounds absolutely nothing like what.
Quantum Cowboys. Was it Quantum Cowboys?
Quantum Cowboys.
Oh, yes.
Yes.
Yeah.
That was also on the short list for worst thing we watched.
Yeah.
But it also tried.
Yeah.
Like, that's
Yeah.
where I'm like, it was trying to be something. I like reading the user reviews on this. It did not get reviewed well.
Which movie?
Here.
Oh, here.
I thought it was like a longer version of the old Carousel of Progress attraction at Disneyland. If this film was a middle school project, everyone involved would be deeply embarrassed by the time they graduated.
There's a scene where they have Benjamin Franklin's son complaining to his wife about his father. He's like, this fucking crazy dude, he like went outside in a nightgown and got electrocuted. Like, he's fucking weirdo. And his wife is like, no one's gonna remember Benjamin Franklin. You're fine. And then they cut forward to a costume party at the house where Tom Hanks and his brother are both dressed as Benjamin Franklin.
They came
random
together?
Shit. Yeah.
Oh my god, this is the fucking stupidest. Oof, man, just getting worked up thinking about this movie.
It was not good. And it was the third worst movie I saw this year. This is adding to my list of wishful things. That's an easy movie to make, is making a Here equivalent that just shits all over it. There.
I would like to make an Also Here, where it's all of the shittier, understated moments leading up to that, right before that they're like, wait, it really did all happen here. It should just end every sequitur with that. Oh, God.
They say the title so many times.
I bet.
In the movie.
I bet.
Like the last one is like, oh my God. It's like you could tell that Robin Wright was directed to act it poorly. Like to say like, you need to hit here really hard. I need people to know that this is the title of the movie.
I don't even know where we are. Here.
Oh, I remember this place. I really like it. Here. Like, oh my God, she paused before the last word. I'm just glad that it didn't catch on. Like, I thought when I heard about this movie, I was like, oh no, this is going to be like the talk of awards season. And all. Thankfully, like, everyone actually hates it. So it's not anything anyone has to think about except me.